Hello again. I'm Radagast at your service. So this is Q&A and follow-up, and so I had a couple of people ask me questions in the comment section and also on the forum, the One Truth forum that I belong to, and somebody had asked me a question: how do I reconcile the law of one with the Sophianic narrative? And so immediately I was, sure I wanted to give an answer, and I'd never really been asked that. I mean, I've spent some time with the law of one, but my main takeaway from it was, the service to self, service to others. That formula, which I will call the Luciferic formula. And of course, the other red flag for me is the very word law. Law is a dead term used to catch living things in it, and then usually exact some punishment. I mean, the law is creepy. And so, and even our language, like let's take the laws of thermodynamics, all right? And laws of physics, the laws of nature, these laws, is if there's somehow like, well, let me go to the next. They're not laws, they're ways. In other words, they do what they do because there's a dance, and they have these different ways that they act. It may even be completely in service, but it's one of joy. It's one of value fulfillment. It's one, it's like we. I mean, it's it's all they. The ways of thermodynamics. How this kind of energy likes to dance and works this way and that way, and we've observed their behaviors, we've observed their ways, and then we archontize it and call them laws. But this is an insertion into nature's ways and calling nature's ways laws. And this way here, when they kind of hit us with their laws, it seems, well, nature has laws too, it must be natural. See how this is so insidious and how it's constantly slipped in. So the law of one, just the word law just is to complete, like, hello, anybody who knows language and knows who we are, this is our calling card. And now one of the questions actually was kind of like, was it archons from Orion? And I said, no, I don't know. Once again, I didn't even think, I'm not thinking about locating any of this as a race. And then also, it's really high quality material. And any of the really high quality material that actually has worth in it is, Luciferic material. I mean, I don't want to get into speaking about that being, and I usually don't like to use the name more than once, because here's an aviso with that word, that name of that being. I wouldn't, don't call. You might get attention. Okay? And again, it's not like, ooh, but you get attention if, it's good to be very sovereign if you get that attention. So there's no reconciling. There's a Sophianic narrative, and I'm all good with service to self. Kind of like, that actually was not a slip of the tongue. That I do that a lot. I'm all with the concept, service to self, service to others. To me, you don't have one or the other. They are the choice. And so, and by laying out the law of one, getting into law of karma, I mean, they really thicken it up, which also helps to obfuscate. To me, the whole takeaway of the law of one is that balance of what side you're on, which implies a choice. And once you make a choice of just naturally, like, of course I want to serve others, because it's ultimately when everybody's serving each other, it's win-win. Every time you do something, it's like, because everybody's reciprocating, it gets crazy. It's so nice. Okay, so that's I think I'm done with reconciling the law of one and the Sophianic narrative. Did I say that I believe it comes from a certain being because of the quality? Yes, I do. Color my scarf. Somebody asked about me color my scarf. because I had made mention that it has meaning, and I don't want to get too deep. I mean, the not real answer, but of course the practical answer, because there's always multiple layers of meaning when you're dressing in or doing anything with has many layers of meaning, because it's all there. But also, you know, it's bluish, so it works with the throat chakra. I have a blue shirt on, which I don't always. And another critique was about where I come from, the language. Like, I use the word chakra. And that's because I'm kind of coming from this alternate crowd from, let's call it, the New Age side. And so the New Age side kind of comes with all of this, we'll call it esoteric. Now, to me, it's the perennial wisdom. So you know about the subtle bodies, the chakras, and some idea of what their domains are. So I realized, but I also realized that this movement also has a lot. People came in through conspiracy and truther and just being disgusted with the whole thing. And chakra is, what's that? So they're energy centers, and I really can't. That's not a good breakdown for the level that we're trying to have the conversation. But I will just call them energy centers. And so the blue-green, the energy center, for anybody who's kind of new with this, is associated with the color green. And that would be up in the heart, and true heart isn't just gooey emotional stuff. It's very level compassion, wisdom, gnosis. The gnosis, the knowing, knows the pain below, but it does not dwell there. It doesn't have to dwell there. It knows the pain. And from knowing the pain, we can also know how to act. Now, act ties in with the throat chakra. You know, it's how you express yourself. It's also, for me, the higher will, because the lower will being down in the solar plexus, where you're really doing that mental body, emotional body, mosh pit dance. And so what we're doing is we're taking the compassion of the heart, and now we're moving up into will, using vocal commands so that the will can be known. But there is such a thing as willfulness. And so the whole idea of blue-green is there's the tempering, where all of the will, any of that kind of drive, that act forward, is supported. It sits within compassion. And so this way basically is that kind of will should do no wrong. Of course, perspective can matter. And so that is, yes, because then there's a whole thing with the Astari, the Maiar, the wizards, kind of from the Tolkien thing, and they had colors, and and of course there's been some movement, shall we say. So anyway, blue-green's my color because I'm kind of working with the immune system energy, and I did a talk earlier. It ran 20 minutes, and I lost it. I guess I didn't hit save right. So I'm doing this again, and there's certain things that I did there that I'm not going to do this time, because my voice is running out. I haven't slept in about 36 hours. It's been exciting. Okay, so we got the color covered. Rune. Somebody's, I'd mentioned the runes. Oh boy, I already did this reading. Now I have to do it again. No, I have to, but I'm doing the video twice. So let's get it going here. The rune I had pulled was Hagalaz, which is the sound would be, if you used it phonetically in their alphabet, would be an H. So Hagalaz, and the main, all the runes have multiple meanings, but they usually have like a kind of a primary, secondary, and tertiary meaning. And where are you? Oh, that was another story to cover. It's another day. I had this saved. Oh, where are you? What page is that? 129. I'm really sorry about this. This take two. 129. There we go. Hagalaz. Okay, so it's the rune of disruption, which is why I came up with paradigm disruption. Finally, so disruption, elemental power. And so this is the little blurb that came with it, and how, because I read, I pulled the rune, and then I looked at it, and then I read it, and then I realized, oh, paradigm disruption, and that's where I got yesterday's title, paradigm disruption. Gaia is our God. So anyway, what this room, now listen, this, I'm just going to read 2 paragraphs and listen to the significance, especially tying in with Gaia is God, and kind of how shattering that can be. Disruption, elemental power. Change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from the constricting identification with material reality and to experience the world of archetypal mind. I know the word arc is there. The rune of elemental disruption, of events that seem to be totally beyond your control. Hagalaz has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption, for it is the Great Awakener. Although the form of the awakening takes may vary, perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you were emerging from a deep sleep. Then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships, or beliefs. Ooh. I propose. So that's the rune thing. And then another person asked me also, because I had mentioned about reconciling using the runes with, being in the hot, within Gaian, what's natural and what's not archontic. So I had been a rune reader all my life. Well, a couple of people's lives worth of years, and tarot was just flat cards. I knew their meanings; they just did not synthesize. Runes speak, and I think part of it is because they're, as letters, they're language. So the runes choose you. I mean, I believe the cards, I think anything, but the board of the runes choose you because they're tied in with elemental forces ultimately. And then of course somebody asked, about the Norse gods. I know the Norse gods, but I don't, they're not beings of worship. They're part of, they're part of the environment. So, I having no allegiance, and then, a lot of them, the Norse gods are pretty darn interesting and a lot more earthy. Also the runes are many, like the rune I just read. Its third meaning is hail. It actually stands for something, a natural element, a natural elemental force. So it seems that the runes and Gaia are all tied up in the elemental and the natural and the organic, and so that's how I dealt with. I mean, again, it wasn't even until yesterday as I went to pull a rune, and I went like, "Whoa, this is going to be interesting," because it was from a different, I won't say a different belief system. Again, it was from a belief system that I now had to see whether or not it was it actually had organic and it could fit, because there's plenty of room to fit because we can play. I mean, Gaia's not a religion. Gaia's the queen. We're the offspring. This is our hive. This is our organism. This is no word. This is the connection. Somebody even said to me, "Oh, I see you." Something about my faith in Gaia. I don't have faith in Gaia. I have existence in my, through the whole thing, from myself through her back up into the pleroma, or the center of the universe, or Godhead. For again, some of these terms I want to make sure that I communicate. And then I spoke yesterday of all the galaxies with the various galactic cores, which appeared to be pleromas, which are Godheads. And I didn't use the word I really wanted to use, that they're nodes. When you look out into a deep space and you see all, everywhere, there's just all these different galaxies, in different angles and whatever, each with their own intelligence, which in its own accretion disk is the intelligence where all the life pours out from. Any of the beings that live in that galactic system have been created, at least in a natural situation from their own pleroma. So as you see, we start, you start to see nodes, and you just see this. So that's the other thing. Even when I go, Gaia is our God. Once you make that connection, it's first of all, because you're in the right connection, it's always up line. Everything from it's up, there's no end. I mean, your pleroma, then the pleroma form whatever aspect of whatever greater organ. I mean, again, you can just see the organization, but the whole idea is to bring the focus down to where our autonomy is. Yes, part of a bigger, but this is all being coordinated. There's no rule maker. There are ways. See, there are ways. So I think I covered enough. I'm down 15 minutes. That's actually, I like that as a time. So I think I covered it. And in there was, I believe, was my follow-up also. I mean, I did the Q&A. I did a, yeah, that works for me. All right. So anyway, it's I hope this was good for you too. And before all else, I look for the God within you.